Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tired and as fuck travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a getting close to late night video right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now to this very channel and my other channels down below in the description box below. So do it now. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but all these stupid comments, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, flushed down the toilet, and then Ozzy and Saint will find you and then eat your soul! Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me, don't do it. And then follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because you miss anything, you pretty much suck. And you're also SOL, you know what that means. If you don't know what it means, look it up. That's that. And for our first-time viewers, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax. Well, I would show you a cold one, but, you know, nothing in here, but... Well, sit back, relax. You grab yourself a cold one, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, get out of here. And go fuck yourself. Simple as that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is late on a late Thursday night. September the 18th, 2025, or if you're watching on the replay, for all my great people that watch me on the replay most of the time, it is now September the 19th, 2025, as we are 3 days away from the start of fall. So we got this weekend will be the final official weekend of summer. It's going to be a hot one tomorrow, about 82, so probably the final beach day or beach days of the summer. You want to go out tomorrow is probably the best day, because Saturday and Sunday will be a little bit chilly. It's going to feel like fall, but fall begins at 2:20 p.m. here in the East Coast on Monday afternoon. It's going to feel like it, but then, you know, summer's going to hold on for a little bit. We've got a couple of 75, 80-degree days this next week. And then we'll see what happens as we roll out of September into October. And we're pretty much, as of this video, actually I think about a month away, to about 5 weeks to go. Almost little over a month to go till Halloween. And that's that. So Halloween is fast approaching. And right after Halloween, we start the countdown to the holiday season with Thanksgiving and the start of the greatest month in the world with the greatest people in the world that celebrate birthdays. And that's December. And you know, level 49 is fast approaching. So, get ready for that. And all the good stuff along the way. So that's that. So enjoy the weekend, everybody, and if not, well, do something, at least, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Thursday night right here on the Peter Joseph channel, I'm Peter Joseph, you knew that already. Check out my last couple of videos I did. Check out on my main channel, Killer of Demons 669, my TNA Ring of Honor review from last week. Get you ready for this week, which TNA this week was decent, you know, nothing great. I mean, we had some surprises, some old friends, if you will, where that old dirty bitch ODB was there, just to grace us with her boobies and her presence, and the man from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Kennedy! Kennedy! Alright, so we have Mr. Kennedy making an appearance on TNA this week, and he might be on next week too. But we'll talk about TNA and a new episode of Ring of Honor this week. We'll talk about that over the weekend. But we got that. And also, I did a little bitty short on my rant channel about the breaking news that happened earlier tonight. A few hours ago. Roger Jackson got arrested. Has been charged, he hasn't been charged yet, but he was arrested, thrown in jail, and is awaiting. I don't know if he got out yet, but his bail was he had a $50,000 bail on him. So I assume that his dad, Quentin Rampage Jackson, got him out pretty easily. So we'll see what happens with that. I guess he's going to be awaiting a hearing, or not a hearing, trial pretty soon. Probably going back to jail after what he did to Psycho Stu. So, hope you enjoyed it, because you're going back, you fucker. And, we'll see what happens with that, but glad that he finally went to jail, but I think the bail they set for him was really, really, really low. Should have been way higher than 50,000. At least $1 million or $2 million. There's no way that who knows if his dad would have got him out with like $1 million bond or some shit. Or he'd have to sell his house. Or his cars, or whatever. To get that fucker out. Should just stay there. But yeah. That's one of the big news. And that's that. Let me move on with that. Hey, the Mets won today. Yay! Mets won. Yay! We've got 9 games left for the Mets. They have a 2-game lead for the final wild card. They're up 2 games on San Fran, who thankfully lost tonight to the Dodgers. Cincinnati won today against the Cubs. But, so, they stay at 2. Arizona, I believe, lost today. No, actually, San Fran lost, so they're 3 back. Arizona did not play, so they lost a half game. So now it's 2 games between Arizona and Cincinnati. But Arizona and Cincinnati are probably going to cancel each other out pretty soon by next week, because Cincinnati's got the Cubs. I think they got the Pirates coming up. We'll see what happens with that. Arizona's got I believe the Dodgers and the Padres to finish off the season. So they're going to be hopefully canceled out. Hopefully, but, see, San Fran, still lingering, but got an easier schedule as they close out the season with Colorado and, I forget who else, but, so they got it pretty easy. So San Fran, could really play a spoiler and maybe drown out the Mets' hopes and dreams. The Mets' magic number is 8 right now with 9 to play, even though they have a 2-game lead. It's 8 because you have to clinch, then, win. So it's really 7/8, but it's 8. That's what they said. So we'll see what happens with that. Mets got the Nationals this weekend. The Nationals are always pesky. So we'll see what happens with that. Brandon Sprout pitches tomorrow, and then Nolan McLean on Saturday afternoon, and then who knows on Sunday. And then after that, that's the final weekend, final homestand. As the Mets will be on the road to finish the season in Chicago against the Cubbies, and then down south in Miami against those pesky Marlins who would love to finish the Mets off and ride them off into the sunset that they don't make the playoffs. So, next 9 games for the Mets are going to be tough. If they can win 7 of them, that'd be great. 8 of them would be really nice, but they got to keep winning. If they can win 2 or 3, if they can win 2 or 3 in each series, they get in, I believe. But we'll see. So this weekend is really going to be, interesting for the Mets. If they can sweep the Nationals, I think they're pretty much in cruise control. But knowing the Mets and how, they fuck up after a great game, we'll see what happens. Yankees are pretty much, I think, in cruise control to get the first wild card. They're almost about to clinch that. I think they're up by, a game or 2 on Houston, I believe. Because Houston and Seattle are battling it out for the AL West. And pretty much that's it. Yankees are still in the hunt for the division. So it's going to be a crazy weekend and a crazy final week next week of baseball, and pretty much going to determine like the seeding a little bit in the National League and the American League. But we'll see what happens with that. So playoff baseball coming your way 2 weeks. Pretty much a week from Tuesday. Because it starts on the 30th. So we're almost about a week away from that. Anyway. And preseason hockey is pretty much underway. But not really caring too much about it. With the Rangers, you know. And got football beginning week 3. We got the Bills win today. Barely. But they still won. Against the Miami Dolphins, who are now 0-3. Ouch. Pretty much gonna fire their coach pretty soon. Feel bad for that guy. Actually, I don't. But, Bisons, I believe, go to 3-0. I think they're 2-1 or 3-0. Let's see what happens with that. Just got the Buccaneers this weekend on Fox at 1 p.m. And then, hopefully, for us here in New York, we get the Niners game. The Niners home opener against Arizona. Don't know who's gonna start. Is it gonna be Mac and Cheese Jones or Brock Purdy? Let's see what happens with that. Gonna be a big division game with the Niners. And for all you Giant fans, yeah, you got the home game. Because Jets are in Tampa Bay. Look, they need to get out of MetLife Stadium because they're 0-2, about to be 0-3 probably after this weekend. With Baker Mayfield probably running laps around them. But who knows. Anyway, so the Giants got the Kansas City Chiefs. So hopefully that slut Taylor Swift is not in attendance. So after their poor performance in against the Eagles last Sunday night in a rematch of Super Bowl 59. The Eagles came into Kansas City and said, you know what? You guys still suck. Whipped them. And, I think the Taylor Swift effect is really hurting the hurting the Chiefs. So pretty soon, Travis Kelce's like, you need to get out of here. You need to stay away from my fucking team and me. Get out of here, bitch. But who knows? We got that. But week 3 in the NFL, where they play for pay, has started. And pretty soon we'll be starting the 2025-26 NHL season in the league where they play for pain. And that's that. And basketball's on about a month away, too. So we talk about the boys of summer with baseball. We got the boys of fall coming in pretty soon. And that's hockey and basketball. And we got football too, so lots of good stuff coming your way through the rest of the year. That's that. But we also got wrestling to talk about, and it is time, after 13 minutes of spiel, it is time for your getting close to late night, and out of day 2, AEW Dynamite September to forget. Remember, review for this past Wednesday night, September the 17th, 2025. We are emanating from the Canada Life Place. Almost like Canada Life Arena. Canada Life Place in London, Ontario, Canada. Nice little rinky-dink place. This is the official Go Home show, and it was 3 freaking hours. Official Go Home show before this Saturday afternoon's AEW All Out Toronto event, live on pay-per-view at 3 p.m. Alright, let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. Our commentary team, the man behind the mask, Excalibur, the biggest Met fan I know, Taz, and Brian Fraggleson, Craigenson, Commentatorson, Danielson. Yes! That's that. Also, Tony Baloney lurking around too. We got that. I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, this was probably one of the worst AEW shows of the year. It was bad. But even as bad as it was, they got 686,000 views. Up from last week's 570 something views. So, even a bad show does in the ratings. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Alright, let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Alright, so we had Tony Baloney in the ring for a contract signing for the AEW World title. We had the Hangman, Adam Page, who does a lot of cowboy shit. So he comes out first, and then the TNT champion, the man who, he doesn't wear pink all the time, but he had a pink tie, black suit pants. He comes out with that bald idiot, Don Callis, and that's Kyle Fletcher. So they come out for the contract signing. Tony Baloney is the MC for this shit. And, Don Callis cuts Giovanni off. You never do that. And, talks about how Adam Page took the title from him by beating Kenny Omega. Well, actually, when Don was managing Kenny before he turned on him. Now Callis has a better challenger for the belt, and no one can do anything to a proto-star like Kyle Fletcher. So then Adam Page talks about being tired of all the interference in all his title matches and sees potential in Kyle. And that's what he wants. He wants Kyle to be a star of the future without the Don Callis family helping him. So Kyle's like, la 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 la. And then Adam Page's like, oh, you forgot to read the fine print, Kyle, because there's a new rule in the contract that I put in. If the family interferes or you get disqualified, Kyle, you get stripped of the TNT title. So Don Kyle's like, oh, what the fuck? He kind of panics, but Fletcher's like, Don, why are you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy. Fletcher's like, oh, I'm okay with that. I know I'm better than you, and you know it. Then he signs. But Adam Page talks about how he knows what Fletcher is feeling right now. And what he doesn't know is how it will feel after All Out. And that's how his future will be defined. So then he signs. And we're supposed to be done, but then Fletcher promises to leave as a double champion. He says, by the end of the night, I'm going to leave you, Adam Page, in a pool of your own blood. And then he says, until then, you can say my full name. Bartholomew. No. Your full name. Bartholomew. You watch Spaceballs, you know that. But it is what it is. So a pretty good start. And I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. And that's it. And we're off and running on September to remember where we should forget. And that's that. Alright, then we got a video for the coffin match between, hi guys, it's me again, Darby. I just want you to know that this video package was brought to you by me and me itself. And it showed me going up Mount Everest, and I almost died for you guys because I love you so much. And we're gonna hear from me again with that guy named Danielson. I'm gonna tell him how he feels. I live in a car in Seattle. I weigh 150 pounds. I'm so fucking emo. Thank you. Get out of here. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so we got that. That leads to, speaking of Moxley, we got Jon Moxley taking on one third of the Paragon. As we know, Adam Cole, baby, is, still on the mend. Still doing his great Twitch channel. Please go follow him. Tell him I sent you. But anyway, he takes on Roderick Strong. Moxley's there with Rowdy's hot wife, Marina Shafir. Ooh, they got into it a little bit. And also, Danny Garcia, the newest member of the Death Riders. Look at that. Match wasn't that bad. Back and forth they went. I'm not gonna go to everything, but got a nice little. Moxley picked up Rowdy in a power drive position. I thought it was going to hit the Minoru Suzuki Gotch pile driver, because, he's been in Japan a lot. Well, he used to be, now he doesn't anymore. And then he picks him up, and I thought he was going to hit the Gotch style pile driver, but then he just flips off the fans, and the fans like, yeah! Boom! He hits the pile driver for a near fall. Goes to the cross, arm breaker, that is broken up as Roddy makes the ropes. They go up top, Roddy hits a super belly to back face plant, ouch, for a near fall of his own. And then Danny Garcia grabs Roddy's boot, so then Kyle, alright, auto parts, jumps him from behind, and then William Yuta comes out, trips Roddy to lead to the paradigm shift by Moxley into the Bulldog choke, and pretty much Roddy just tapped out. But, they went to the outside, and Roddy was going after Mox, and then Marina Shafir stepped in, and then Roddy and his wife are staring at each other, and you could tell that Marina broke character a little bit, because she was smiling at her husband, and then I think her husband said, Roddy's like, get out of the way! And then Mox, hit him right in the throat. Aye! That was nasty. But, yeah, first interaction between Marina Shafir and Roddy in a match. Interesting. Get out of my way, bitch! Leave me alone! There we get that. Alright, pretty decent match, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. That's it. Alright, then we get a video for the hellacious match that's gonna be. It's gonna be brutal, bloody, and bleh. We're gonna have tables and thumbtacks, a TNT match between Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF, and the funky chicken himself, Mark Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. Jay Briscoe! Have a good night. Bye. Alright, Mark. Alright, so Mark and Max are gonna go at it in a TNT match with millions of thumbtacks and tables. Oh my. Home Depot better stock up, if you know what I mean. Anyway. So it includes MJF going to yell at Tony Khan. It was an interesting segment. They go to the video, then they cut to Max going into Tony Khan's office, and he starts yelling at Tony about the match, I didn't sign up for this and that, blah blah blah. He said, this is on you, blah blah blah. And then we actually hear Tony Khan yelling back at him because Max didn't want to do the match. I don't want this match ain't gonna happen. I'm not doing it. You can go fuck yourself, Tony Khan. And Tony Khan pretty much clapped back. Yeah, he pretty much clapped back at Max and said, Max, you can pretty much go fuck yourself. The match is still on, and get out of my office, you know. I was waiting for MJF to go, you fucking Mark! You didn't get that. And then, as Max is leaving, he's kind of suggests that I'm gonna kill Mark Briscoe. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that on Saturday afternoon. It's gonna be hellacious, it's gonna be bloody and violent, and just the way I like it. And that's pretty much it. Alright, back to the ring we go with Bobby Lashley. Comes out with MVP and Shelty Baby, Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Syndicate. We hurt people. We hurt people. Just like the prophecy does, we hurt people. We do. Especially some dumb fuck Brits. But that's another story for another time. He takes on Toa Leona of the Gates of Agony. He comes out with Bishop Quan. I know that Quan. And Ricochet. Alright, 10-minute match. Kind of boring at times, and it was what it was. It was just what it was. They trade clotheslines till Bobby Lashley hits an overhead belly to belly. Then Toa Leona rolls to the outside to avoid the spear, and then everybody at ringside gets pretty much beats the crap out of each other. And then back in, Toa Leona hits the bounce! Period. On Bobby for a near fall. But then Lashley comes right back, locks in the Hurt Lock. Toa Leona tried the old school WrestleMania 8 pinfall that Bret Hart won against Roddy Piper for the Intercontinental title. You remember that? He tried that, but Bobby kind of maneuvered and he held on with the Hurt Lock. He held on and then eventually tap out, and Bobby Lashley gets the win. A pretty decent match. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, the Hurt Syndicate just basically clears the ring of Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. So we'll see what happens on Saturday in that 6-man tag team match. Which hopefully the Hurt Syndicate win, but depends on MVP. His knee's still, fucked up. So maybe he takes the pin, but I hope not. But we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then Tony Baloney's back in the ring, and he brings out FTR with Stokely Hathaway. So we got Dax the Axe Harwood and Cash. He's got a fucking clock, Wheeler. And he brings out, hey kids, guess what? It's Edge, or Threshold, or whatever you want to call him. So Edge and Chris Kidd, they come out for a little kitty chat. And Stokely Hathaway makes it clear that Edge will be heavily fined if they get, Edge and Christian will get heavily fined if things get a little physical. So he says, if you beat up FTR, you have to, both of you will lose $100,000. But if you hit me, that goes up to $500,000. I'm like, pfft. That's a lot of money. Blah, 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 blah. So then Cash Wheeler pulls out his clock, gets the mic, talks about meeting Edge 16 years ago. That was 2009, by the way, in WWE. When he was a huge star. And then him and Dax became a legendary tag team. 11-time World Tag Team Champions. Blah, 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 blah. And then Dax talks about the Canadians being a great team, but it was only because their competition was kind of mediocre. I don't know about that. But anyway, then we hear about the greatness of FTR until Edge says, shut up, Dax. Cuts him off, talks about how he helped Cash Wheeler, even letting him live in his apartment when Cash was homeless. That was interesting. I didn't know that. Then he says, yes, you guys are in the discussion for greatest tag teams ever. Oh, you gotta put the Road Warriors first. You can't put... They're in there. I don't know about top 10. I'd probably put FTR in the top 20 at least. Because you can't put them in the top 10 with great tag teams like the Rock and Roll Express, the Freebirds, Demolition, and all the 80s great tag teams. So many great, the Steiners, so many great ones back in the 80s. You can't put FTR in that top 10. Top 15 maybe, but... You thought I was going to say the Rockers, didn't you? You fucker, shut the fuck up. The Rockers are not even the top 30. Oh, shit. Can I jump out the window and escape? You saw that? Are you blind? Tag team specialists. I knew Jannetty was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. He didn't need Jannetty. Fuck him. Well, he didn't say fuck him, but... Marty Jannetty was actually in New York a couple weeks ago doing some meet and greet. I didn't go. It was who wants to meet Jannetty, really, if I did meet Marty Jannetty, I'm like, hey Marty, you gonna jump out the window to escape me shaking your hand? You bastard. Now, I really would have asked him, did Shawn really fuck a goat? There's so many stories that Marty Jannetty kind of told that were true and not, I don't know. But I don't know about that fucking goat thing with Shawn Michaels, but I wouldn't put it past him. But I digress. Alright, anyway. So he says, you guys are in the discussion of greatest tag teams ever, but we have been here for 25 years. We pioneered a match that became a pay-per-view. Hell in a Cell? No, TLC, of course. Christian then disagrees about the team name. It was called Cope and Christian, and Christian's like, Christian and Cope. And Edge is like, yeah. And then he says, a $500,000 fine for jumping FTR right now is kind of worth it because, I'm right. And then he just like, boom, right? The microphone right in the Dax Harwood's fucking mouth. I thought he busted his mouth wide open because he was bleeding, but Dax broke his nose. So I don't know how that's gonna work for this weekend. Probably like a big nose guard or some shit. But anyway. Alright, so we get a big old brawl. And yeah, it's pretty much a dream match on paper, but the build has been kinda But it's gonna be an interesting match. I would think that Edge and Christian are going to and they're actually opening the show with them. Why? So I assume now that Hangman and Fletcher are gonna close the show, unless it's Darby and Mox in a coffin match. I don't really want that to close the show. I'd rather have the world title close the show, but still, it makes no sense. Booking wise, I would put Edge and Christian and FTR last. But what do I know? I'm just a 48-year-old schmuck from Brooklyn talking on a fucking phone. But, I'm just saying, Tony Khan, why are you putting this match first? And on the other side, at WrestlePalooza, John Cena and Brock Lesnar are going to start that pay-per-view. Huh? I mean, you could have, well, I mean, it kind of fits because you're starting off ESPN with a bang, per se, and then you're ending the pay-per-view with a bang with AJ and Punky Brewster against Becky and Seth Rollins. So you open with a banger, most likely will be a banger, and then you close with hopefully a banger. Unless you want to have real chaos and have Seth and Becky pin Punk and AJ, but then again, why would you bring back AJ to have her lose to Becky? I mean, she doesn't have to get pinned per se, but it does make a little bit of sense, but still, I would just have AJ and Punk win and have AJ pin Becky, and then eventually that might lead to AJ winning the Women's Intercontinental title if they go that route. Just the way it is. But yeah, I would have pretty much started with Punk and the mixed tag team match. I would have started with that. Then, you go up a little bit. I'd probably have Io and Stephanie be the cool-down match before Cena and Brock. I would have that, the match before Brock and Cena to end the show. Because you want to have a cool-down match and then get ready for Cena and Brock to beat the fuck out of each other. But like I said, I'm just a schmuck from New York. A good-looking one. Not that idiot from Westchester. You know him, at JD. He thinks he knows everything, but he doesn't. Or Vince Russo. Two idiots from New York. One roots for the stupid Skankies, and the other roots for the Braves. Hey, JD, where's your Braves this year? Oh, yeah, bye. Eliminated. Gone. See you next year, fucker. Should burn that fucking hat. Wear a different team hat if you follow another team. Or just wear a black hat. Idiot. Really, House of Glory should fire that fucker. I'm sorry. You want to hire a great commentator, you hire me, not that idiot. Just saying. Just saying. Because I'm better than JD on commentary than he is at his fucking lame as fuck reviews. He thinks he's a great ranter, too. He's not. He is not. I would run laps around him. he has some good points here and there, but I bring realness and, sense to it. I bring some sarcasm, a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of comedy, a little bit. Satire. Almost couldn't find the word almost. Satire. I bring satire to my shows. And even though he gets a lot more views than me and he has a lot more subs than me, I'm more real than him than he will ever be, Actually, my subs actually matter, not like him, because his subs basically suck his tiny cock. But, that's why he needs Blue Chew. So. And I don't make fun of the female wrestlers and I'm pretty much a WWE mark. Basically, suck up the Hunter and Nick Khan all the time and bash AEW every fucking week. Sucks. That's the way it is. That's the way he is. He wants to do that? Fine. I'm just gonna talk real. Now, I'm not gonna, there's some things that I hate from AEW, and there's some things I hate from WWE. And there's some things in wrestling in general that I hate. There's wrestlers that I hate. Like William Yuta, but, I don't hate him to the point where I'm gonna go on Twitter and have a freaking war. Like he had with freaking Ricochet, and he had it with Dax Hardwood and Tony Khan, who basically buried him. You'll see me complaining on Twitter, "Oh, I hate you, Dax Hardwood, fuck you!" I barely go on Twitter and argue about, like, wrestlers and shit. Why would I waste my time going into a Twitter war with, like, somebody like Dax Hardwood or even Tony Khan? I respect the man, but some of his ideas are kind of like wacko, And I'm like, I'm like, Tony, if you would listen to me and some of the fans, AEW would be leaps and bounds, better than WWE. But, some booking decisions are kind of like, And you run Ring of Honor like shit. You're like, oh, I'm a fan. Right. You're a fan, but, you have champions that have been champions for, like, over a year and have, like, how many defenses? Not many. Athena's, like, over 1,000 days, because who is she going to beat? Who's really going to give Athena a challenge? Mina? Yeah, she kind of did. At Death Before Dishonor, but who's next in line? And then you have this freaking pure tournament, which is kind of sort of starting. And the only person I can think of winning that is Deonna Purrazzo, who I would love to have face Athena, maybe finally beat her. But then again, I would probably think Athena will beat her at Final Battle. I keep saying Billy Starks, but we did that how many years ago? 2 years I've been saying that? And I feel like Billy Starks is like the female Cody Rhodes in some ways. And eventually she will finish your story, Jordan! Finish the story! Finally win the world title. Somebody will finally beat Athena. And then Athena just goes to the main roster and just wipes the floor with that, too. Or she just retires as the longest reigning female Ring of Honor Women's Champion in history, because nobody will top that. But then again, with Tony Khan, somebody will beat Athena, and then they'll hold it for like 1,000 days. Who knows? Those belts never get defended. Hardly defended. And that's that. But we move on with that. But, yeah. Like I said, I could do a way better job than Tony Khan ever could. If he needs an assistant, call me up, hit me up on Twitter, find me somewhere, I'll come down to the arena, I'll tell you how it is. I'll make you blink too, Tony Khan. I will never blink! Yes, you will. Mm-hmm. Kind of like ABC. It's like, we're gonna blink and we fired, Jimmy Kimmel. Fuck him. Now I heard something today that they are very close to getting The View off the air, and I would be ecstatic for that. I know a friend of mine works for ABC on The View, so he might lose out on a job, but still. The show is just garbage. Got Whoopi Goldberg, she talks about Trump almost all the time. They Joy Behar, a known Trump hater. I don't know about the other ladies on the show. I don't know if they have what their political views are with Trump. Probably hate him too anyway, so. The show hasn't been good since Barbara Walters was on. I don't even watch it. I don't even watch daytime talk shows anymore like I used to. I mean, back in the day, we had Maury, we had Jerry Springer, we had Steve Wilkos, who's still on, but, not as great as it used to be. Even the court shows, I don't even watch all of them. I used to watch the People's Court with Judge Wapner. Thank you for coming, ma'am. I read your report. I understand. I read your complaint, sir. What are you here for? That was the man back in the day. Fucking Judge Wapner. Just an amazing man. I think, I'm not sure, Ed Koch was on that show once as a judge. I'm like, why? Now it's Judge Marilyn Mayan, who's just amazing. I love her, but I don't watch her a lot. Judge Judy's just like, forget it. She trumps her. Judge Judy would if she was she is a real judge. She would put all these idiots away easily. Fuck them. She would put William Udo away just for being William Udo. Even Judge Mills Insane would do it too. Let's get it on. I'll allow it. The legendary Judge Mills Insane. I know it's Mills Lane, but I call him Mills Insane. If you follow my XWF career, you know. But some of you don't. What's the XWF? Oh, go look it up. Not the Hardcore Federation, it's an E-Fed. That was a legend there. I know some of my XWF buddies still watch me from time to time. I love you all, I miss you too. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you. But now XWF's run by two fruitcakes, basically. Maybe three, if you think about it. But that federation, after I left, went down the drain. I was the heart and soul of that federation. For years. Yeah, they gave me the fucking world title out of spite. Because the champion at the time was just a dick, didn't want to lose it to me. I was like, I'm not gonna lose. I don't want to fight him. I don't want to lose to him. I don't want to drop it to him. And I'm like, come on, what are you, a pussy? Come on, give me your best role play. Let's see what happens. I didn't even have to do... I did a half-ass RP, and that was it. I wrote 500 words, and that's it. Fuck you. You're not going to be a champion, and you want to act like that? Fuck you. I'll take the title to new heights. I beat the guy, then I lost the next week, which makes no fucking sense to me. I won out of spite, and then I lost in the Elimination Chamber, the first guy out, because an old buddy of mine had a hard-on for me in that federation, not in real life. Came out and distracted me, and I got pinned. I lost the title right then and there. Hey, but at least I went out on a good note. 2-time Trios champion, 5-time Heart champion, King of the XWF, that was given to me too. But, what else? Yeah, 2-time Trios champion, 5-time Heart champion, Universal champion, 17, at the time was 16-time Extreme champion because I won twice in Japan. And on that note, 9-time Deathmatch champion, because nobody can beat me there. Nobody can beat me. Even on commentary, so what's the point? Nobody can beat me in E-Fed Wrestling. Nobody can beat me. Nobody can out-rant me, even if they tried. Oh, why didn't you come up and do a panel or out-rant each other? Fuck no. I don't want to waste my time with kids. With their stupid freaking opinions, and all it's gonna be is a freaking bash fest on me. I'm like, oh, you suck, you're this and that. I'm like, I thought we were supposed to rant on each other. You're just basically bashing me, and it's just boring. That's stuff I heard millions of years ago. Why? Oh, let's do a music debate. Yeah. I'd wipe the floor with you. What do I have to lose? Nothing, really. So why would I do a panel with a bunch of marks? I'd rather do a panel with Joe Cronin or Issa. Or maybe Heel Steven. Got people that I actually respect. And I can have a little discussion, if you will. But I'm not gonna do panels with a bunch of drama fucking starters. Oh, you start drama too, you instigate. No, I don't. I'll butt in here and there, but I just put in my opinion. I'm not instigating drama. If you think I do, I don't give two fucks. I wish I had a drink now because my voice is about to go. And I'm not going to get up and go. So if you hear my voice go like this, I'm sorry. Not about that, but like I said, nobody can out-rant me. Nobody can beat me in E-Fed Wrestling. And nobody can beat me in real life, so fuck you. So I'm going to be here for a while. I don't know how long, but it is what it is. I do got to get a new computer soon because everything changed on Windows 11, but I did actually hear about Windows 11 having some problems. So you stay on Windows 10 for the moment, as the security definitions are going to be ending in a couple weeks. But pretty much Windows 10 is going to be extinct, so. And if you don't upgrade in time, your computer gets, can get viruses and malware and all this other shit, and the security stuff won't be there anymore. But I have, I have malware protection, but, I'm a little bit worried about that. So I am in the process of looking for a little bit of a new PC or a new laptop. Probably I'll just refurbish one. See, I took my glasses off. So these are reading glasses, so I don't wear them all the time. So I gotta clean the glasses from time to time. Cause it is what it is. Now we're putting them back on. Ah, great. Superstar. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to AEW, and I'm gonna go to bed. Blah blah blah. All right, so Edge and Christian and FTR beat the fuck out of each other. Edge and Christian beat the fuck out of FTR. Dax Harwood broke his nose in the process. And we'll see what happens on Saturday. Not Saturday. Alright, then we go to the back with the Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, who are $500,000 richer after that match last week, where they won $500,000. even though they got 100 each. But still. So, we saw them on BTE, going to the casino. I assume Atlantic City Casino those. I don't think there's not many casinos in Philly. But anyway, they went there and pretty much almost, I would assume they lost most of it. But anyway, they're back in suits, and they pay off the production guy to make their entrance better this week. They give him, like, I don't know how much they gave him. I think Nick gave him, like, at least $10,000-$20,000. Who knows how much they gave him. And then Renee Paquette comes in, and they're talking to Renee. It's like, oh, we're sorry that we, about what we said about you and this and that. And then Nick gives her $10,000. She's like, oh my God, you're so great. So Renee went. I bet you Renee wiped the floor with that $10,000. You know what she did? Probably bought a lot of kids' clothes and bought more dresses and weird stuff that she wears. You know that's true. She went to the mall to get her kids some clothes. She went to buy herself some clothes and some shoes. It's like, well, I'm not gonna give any to freaking Mox. Mox gets his own money. Gonna save at least for your kids' education or some shit, Who knows? Buy $10,000, I put some away for bills and I buy a few things here and there, Buy a new computer. Yeah, that's what I really would do. Buy a new computer. Buy some clothes. Some from the In This Moment collection, and I buy some stuff from Ash Costello's closet, and slash the New Year's Day merchandise store. Buy a couple band shirts here and there, and pretty much save the rest for bills and food too. Because I got a lot of bills to pay, and I gotta, I put off buying a lot of band merchandise, but I'm in the process of getting it probably by Christmas time. I'll see, but we'll see. But once I do get the chance to buy it, I am buying a God Mode shirt. I'm gonna buy some other shirts from that I didn't get, and I don't know if they're still in stock. There's a few of them I want in stock. I want to get. I'm hoping to get the another vest like the one I had. The In This Moment one I have from 2014. They came out with another one, but it's in red. The patch is red. The back of the vest is red in the blood vest. So it's white, and there's a red one. But I think that's $150 while shipping's like almost $200. Unless it went down in price, but we'll see. I might buy some more hoodies. It's like need them because it's getting close to hoodie season. There's a couple of New Year's Day shows I want, and I might buy a Conquer Divide shirt. And then maybe I might buy a few other band shirts, like 6 Cents, and I might buy some other band. I might buy some Black Labor Society stuff, I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping to get one at the Zach Sabbath show coming up in November, but we'll see about that. Because it's the week before Thanksgiving, so. And that's it. 6 Cents is actually going to be in my neck of the woods on Tuesday, but I'm not going, obviously, so. I would like to, but I think the venue where they're playing that's too far away from me. Way too far away in Brooklyn, because there's some places I can't go, because it's dangerous, like Williamsburg and Flatbush and shit like that. Not Gravesend per se, but Greenpoint, anywhere like Bay Ridge I can go to, late at night and come back via Uber is fine. But Williamsburg, getting there, coming back there on train is a pain in the ass. And I know that from experience. That day I went to see a couple of my friends play at a bar. Me and the missus went. And let's just say the missus got a little too much. Which we know how she's alcoholic. Almost got thrown out of the bar because they had a motorcycle there, and Rosa took a picture of it on it, and then she tried to get off it, and the bike almost fell, and the freaking owner was like, "What are you doing?" So we were leaving anyway, so we didn't get kicked out. We just left. I was like, "Oh no, it's okay, sorry, we're leaving." It is what it is. And then, we got lost because we had to take the G train back to Manhattan to get the L to the A. Because we had to take 3 trains, which was insane because we were living in Washington Heights at the time. So anyway, we took the G train back to Manhattan, but I think we went the wrong way. We ended up in the Marcy Projects at midnight. We got off the train and we're like, where are we? We got out of there. Excuse me. Yeah, we got out of there, and then we're walking, and then wait, this is not where we are. And then I saw a sign that says Marcy Projects. I'm like, oh, we're in the wrong area, so we gotta go back. We gotta find because we went away from the train station a little bit. Thankfully, we saw a man going towards the train station. Like, hey, which way's the G train? How do we get back to Manhattan? So he told us and everything. So we kind of followed him to the train station. We got back on the G, took it to Manhattan to the L train, and then we took the L to 14th Street, and then we got the A all the way up. But we took it to 168th. We lived on we lived in Washington Heights, so. We lived far away from 168th, so lived on a hill, somewhere way past 168th. But anyway, we get off at 168 because the train was stopping. For some reason, Rose wanted to get off the train. So we get out the train station, and then Rosa was still in her state, and she almost freaking. I'm holding her. We're going towards to get a cab. It's like a 5-minute cab ride for $5 basically. And then she kind of broke away from me a little bit, started walking, and I'm fast. At the time I was fast, now I'm not, I'm old. I called up to her and I'm like, what are you doing? I was in the state I'm in now, I don't know if you would have seen her anymore, but because she was like darted towards the street on Broadway, so. But we got home, and then we got home okay, and then Rosa just puked a couple of times, and then I'm just going to bed. I wanted to go to sleep. And then Rosa gets out of the bathroom after taking a shower and everything. And I'm like half asleep, and then she just wakes me up and just started freaking. Let's just say, we went rounds. So, as I always say, drunk sex is the best sex. Absolutely. I didn't have to get Rosa drunk. She just got drunk on her own. And then, she was so inebriated, she just went to town on my dick. Let's just say more than once, probably, but I digress. Alright, I'm going way off course. I'm sorry about that. It's late, and I really gotta go to bed. Anyway, alright, so the Bucks give Renee Paquette $10,000 for her own use, and they give the production guy some money. So they come out with their theme song, not that crap that used to be coming out with, were coming out with. No, not Rod and Todd anymore. They come out as the Bucks with their theme song, and they came out with their pyro, which I thought was great. So they're back, basically. And then they go down the aisle, and then some fan had the Bucks are great sign or something like that, and freaking Nick just like gives the woman like $100 bill or something like that. Anyway, so they take on the Bang Bang Gang of Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn in a qualifying match for the tag team titles. That is going to be a ladder match with Bodito involved. So this is a pretty good match. I know, I'm losing my voice and I can hear it. Anyway, pretty good match. Eventually, the bag gets used. The bag of money gets used, and like money starts flying everywhere. You know, some fans got actual money. You know, they were, they didn't go over the barricade or anything. Like, it was just like flying around. But anyway, getting to the end of the match, the Bucks go for the EVP trigger. It gets broken up, and a downward spiral drops Nick for a near fall. And then we get a pinfall reversal sequence for a near falls each. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But the Bucks eventually win that. They hit the TK driver on Juice Robinson, and they get the win. So they go to All Out to face Bodito, but we got 2 teams left. And we'll see what happens with that in just a little bit. Match was alright, 3 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then we get a video for the 8-woman tag team match, what's it called? A tailgate brawl, they're calling it, on the kickoff show. It's going to be Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, my 4th and recently hot Asian wife, and, what was this in that match? Shit. I think Anna Jay, I forget. And they're taking on Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, and, Sky Blue and Julia Hart of the, 2/3 of the Triangle Madness. It's gonna be like an 8-woman hardcore match or something like that. Not that I give 2 fucks, but it's 8 hot chicks, so that's on the kickoff show. Alright, then we got the final match in the Unified title tournament. We have Mascara Dorada taking on the Beast, Mortos of RFI. 10-minute match was pretty good. I was thinking the Beast Mortis would get the win here, but no, I was wrong. They go up top, and a super ankle scissors brings the Beast Mortis down for a 1 count. 1 count, surprisingly. Mascara Dorada comes back with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Then he goes up top, hits a beautiful shooting star press. 1, 2, 3. He pins Beast Mortis to go to All Out, where he will face Takeshita and the Unified Champion Okada, who comes out. Who both of them come out. They have a little stare down, and then Mascara Dorada gets a little bitty, jelly, and he dies on the Okada. Then he just looks at Takeshita like, go ahead and kick his ass. And then that was pretty much it. I don't understand why this is a triple threat match. It should just be Okada versus Takeshita 1-on-1. Takeshita beats the fuck out of Okada, wins the belt. I still think he wins the belt, but now you add Dorada in, I think he's going to take the pin. And I think Okada might retain there, and then maybe at Wrestle Dream you do Okada Takeshita 1-on-1, where it should be, and then Okada loses the belt, because he's held that belt for so long, so all those 3 belts go pretty much bye-bye. And then by the time we hit December, we got the Continental Classic again. Why? So I heard Tony Khan wants to keep that because he wants to have the Continental belt as a separate belt to the Unified title. And he wants to keep the international title, or I call it the Intercontinental title of AEW. Just get rid of those 2 belts and just have the Unified title. I said that before. when Kenny beat Okada. No, when Okada beat Kenny for the belts. He just unified it, dumped the international title in the gutter, along with the Continental title, and just have the unified title, which looks like shit too. But I guess the winner of this triple threat match will have 3 belts. But in the case of the Ketch, he'll have 4 belts because he has one from Japan. So, and he has the G1 coming up. He's facing Zack Sabre Jr., so he could be IWGP champ pretty soon. I thought that match was going to be at Wrestle Kingdom. Nope. Getting it early. At, I think it was Wrestling Dontaku or something like that. It's coming up, I think, soon. So, if Takeshita plays his cards right, he might have 5 belts. He'd be like close to Mercedes Moné country. She has 9, he'll have 5. Really, you have 3, but because we don't count, we're not going to count the Intercontinental and the Continental title, which I still think stupid. Anyway, we got that. All right, after that we get timeless Toni Storm, darling. Bosom. All right, she comes out, gets the spotlight, the little chitty chat. This also her usual nicknames. I'm the tramp you can't. I'm the, what she calls herself. The tramp is still a champ. The skank you can't crank or something like that. She has more rhymes than a certain other guy we know. But when he rhymes, it's like Sesame Street. Anyway. Yippee-yi, 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, 3. Call the cops! Anyway. So she says, I'm still the champ, but not sure how long that will last. I spent every day of my reign like it's my last and loved every second of it. And basically says, if you aren't willing to put your life on the line every time you get in the ring, you ain't shit. And then basically says, any of the 3 women facing me for my title, Thekla, Statlander, and Jamie Hayter, if you want the title, you better be ready to burn my body and smoke the ashes. And then Jamie Hayter comes in and says, I'm going for the belt because you invited me into the match. And then Chris Statlander comes in and says, I'm going to win. But then Toni Storm says, well, you better trim your bushes, bitches. Hey now. Because we're going all out. And then I think there was a brawl after that. No, there was just nothing after that. Or actually, Thekla came out, and they almost had a fight. But then Thekla goes out to the ring for our main event of Dynamite. Anything Goes brawl with Queen Aminata, the one and only, comes out with a trash can, throws in the trash can, and they fought. And then at one point, Queen Aminata threw like 16 million chairs into the ring. It wasn't even a great hardcore match, but, you know. She goes with a spear, throws a chair at Decla's face. Ow. Then a Fisherman's Buster onto like 6,000 chairs. Ow. And then a middle rope leg drop, missed. Completely missed. And then Thekla hits the Super Dragon Stomp onto chairs. 1, 2, 3, she gets the win. And then that's pretty much it. And then after the match, she calls out Toni Storm, who comes out. We have a big old brawl with her, Thekla, Jamie Hayter comes back out, Chris Statlander comes out, and then Sky Blue and Julia Hart come out to join in, and then Statlander leaves and chases off the Triangle of Madness, which leaves Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm have a big old stare down, and that's pretty much it. And we move on with that. I don't have. This was all of the September to Remember show, but really nothing of note on the Collision. Rio beat Robin Renegade, and then Mercedes Benz clocked her in the head with a title and just stood over her and dancey and stuff like that. Jet Speed beat they beat some team. Well, in any case, Jet Speed is in that four-way match with the Don Callis family got in. He chased Cesaro and Josh Alexander are in the match too. I was hoping Top Flight would get there, but they lost, obviously. So it's going to be Brodito taking on Jet Speed, taking on the Bucks, taking on the Don Callis family in a four-way ladder match for the AEW Tag Team belts. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks win that, but I'm probably going to go with Brodito to retain. Probably be Brodito to retain there, but thinking of what else happened on Collision that I can remember. Well, Kyle Fletcher came out. They were beating up somebody, and Hangman comes out, and then he was winning the fight with the Don Callis family, and then Fletcher beats the crap out of him, and he hits another brain buster off the apron through a table to lay him out, and then he gets in the ring and holds up both belts to end the entire show. Well, Collision. But excuse me. Yeah, but we got that, and that's that. Alright, I loaded it up, so, give me a second. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go. Alright, so, Collision starts, with the end of the, Declan Queen Amanada match with a brawl. That's it. Christopher Daniels gives Top Flight a pep talk in a parking lot. Big deal. Like I said, Jet Speed, goes on to the four-way ladder match as they beat the matriarchy of Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian with Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. Yes. Joe Switch said, you know what? Fuck you, Kip Sabian, and he left him for dead. And Jet Speed win with a tornado kick. And they get the win to go to the four-way. I didn't give two fucks about that. Big Cass ready for Eddie Kingston on Saturday if he's there. And Big Cass says, Eddie, if you show up, I'm going to prove that you're a fraud. Damn. And then Brian Keith went, you're a fraud. We'll get that. Alright, then we get Bryan Danielson sitting down with Darby. Talks about climbing Mount Everest because he was tired of living someone else's life. He said he saw dead bodies on the mountaintop. Blah, 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 blah. But he put the AEW flag on top of the world. Talks about his uncle dying in a car crash that they were in when Darby was 5. Talk about Sting. And Darby's like, I would never let him down. I would never turn on him. And then he asks Brian Fragelson, Dragonson, Danielson, basically promise that you will not interfere. No matter what happens on Saturday, do not interfere. Danielson reluctantly agreed, but then he whispered something in Darby's ear, which Darby kind of agreed to. And then we go to ringside, and Excalibur and Tony Baloney are asking him, what did you say? And Danielson's like, well, I'm not going to tell you. So we get that, but do you really think that Danielson's going to get involved in that match? I would think, unless revoked, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that match. It's going to be crazy as shit, but it is what it is. Like I said, Rio beat Robin Renegade in 5 minutes, and then Mercedes Moné basically hit the backstabber, left him laying. That's it. All right, then we hear from Danny Garcia who wants to fight Kazuchika Shibata. That's gonna be on the pre-show. Big, should be on the main show, but. And then Samoa Joe accepted on Shibata's behalf because Shibata's in Japan. So we got that. Like I said, Hichiro and Josh Alexander beat Top Flight to go on to the four-way ladder match. And then we had a big old brawl with all four of them on 4 tag teams. And like I said, Adam Page ran in to take out the Don Callis family, and then Rocky Romero grabbed the leg on the buckshot lariat attempt, and then Fletcher runs in, beats the crap out of him, and then hits Adam Page in the face with the AEW title, and then a brainbuster off the apron, through a table, leaves Adam Page laying to end the show. So, that was the plan. I thought he was going to leave him in a pool of his own blood when he saw no blood at all. So, Kyle Fletcher, you are a liar. And that's pretty much it. But, all in all, Collision was kind of boring. It was just like, bleh. We're just going to throw out a couple, one maybe good match with the tag team title thing. But, other than that, it was blah. So, overall, September to not remember was just a bad show. I could not get through it. There's some good things there, but they should have broke this up. They should have had Dynamite last night, should have had Collision tonight, live. But obviously they didn't, and this show still got 86,000 views. But my final rating, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to get out of here because my voice is about to go. So, my final rating for September to remember, 6 out of 10 stars, and that's all I got to say about that. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. The final weekend of summer. Enjoy the rest of your summer, ladies and gentlemen, because it's gone after Sunday night. And then we begin full on Monday. And that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm going to go try to get my voice back for tomorrow, because I do got to do some videos tomorrow. Oh, actually, well, I guess I was supposed to go out, do some errands tomorrow, early in the morning. I'm going to see about if I can do those. I might hold off on it and just do my errands. I was supposed to do my Friday night activities. I'm still gonna probably do, depending on how I feel. So I'm gonna try to go to bed. I'm gonna drink some Chloraseptic, and get my voice back. Maybe take a lozenge or something like that, and then go to bed. Try to get up and see how I feel, and then if I feel okay, I'll do my errands that I have to do in the mornings. I don't have work tomorrow. Get everything, hopefully everything that I can done. I gotta go to the laundromat. Gotta go to the bank because I got paid. So I gotta put my check in and everything. And then after that, I might do some stuff with the missus tomorrow night. And then the weekend, we got All Out and WrestlePalooza back to back. So see what happens. That's a busy Saturday, and then Sunday is Football Sunday, and Sunday dinner and all that other shit. So my whole weekend is gonna be a little bit busy, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.